Ready, hot!
It's just an extra week, you know. Kansas State's a really, really good team. Play really solid football, so any chance you can get an extra week on a team like that, it's always beneficial.
Did you work as much on them as you did on yourself?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was pretty good how Coach split it up on how they made practices and how they set the schedule, where we would go against ones-on-ones, good on good, and then we'd go against scout team as well.
What do you think it's going to take from you against Kansas State? I mean, do you have a sense of how well you got to play? I mean, the stakes are raised. It's Big 12. It's a good team.
I mean, like you said, it's a Big 12, good team. I just think if we go out there and we take care of business, we're going to be in the game. You know, if we don't turn the ball over, pick up our mental assignments, we're going to be right there with them at the end of the game, and I think it's going to be a great game, you know. Last year, K-State, you know, the score was deceiving in how the game kind of went. You know, those guys are always solid and always a good team.
Landry, if I remember right, last year, I think the Kansas State game, the passing game, you guys were on point, and that's where the passing game really started to improve. Do you feel like on that same level right now where you're starting to develop that passing game's consistency?
I don't know, it's hard to say. We played them a little later in the season last year than we did this year, so I think we're heading in the right direction. We'll see how everything goes this week and how it shows up on Saturday.
How much have you guys shown through the first two games? Seems like you guys have just about as vanilla as you can be.
We do our stuff, you know. We're gonna practice what we're gonna do, and I think this year that's kind of what we're about is we're going to practice, and then we're going to do what we do in practice. We're not going to put new stuff in, and I think this year it's just more of knowing what you're doing so we can play fast and play strong, play physical.
And you talk about the Kansas State defense and what you see out of them and what problems they present for you.
They do a great job of playing sound, like fundamental football, gap football, tough against the run, do a really good job in the passing game, keeping everything in front of them, making you kind of snap the ball. And I think for us, if we don't have any penalties, don't kind of beat ourselves, we have a chance of playing pretty decently against them.
Are they doing anything differently than they did against you last year? Because you had so much with Ryan. I think you had 14 completions to him last year.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll kind of see about that one on Saturday. I'm sure they'll every year each team and each defense will have something new for you, you know. So I'm sure they're going to have something new for us this year as well.
Just kind of a glimpse of what you guys can do. I mean, it's conference play starting, better athletes you're going to be facing on a week-to-week basis. So you anxious to kind of see how you guys measure up?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, now we're getting into our Big 12 conference play, and we'll see how we've progressed throughout the year in these last two games.
Anybody else?
You watch football this weekend?
I did. Mm-hmm.
Did you watch?
I watched a little bit of golly, who was it? I can't remember who I watched, but I fell asleep right in the middle of the game.
Do you watch the other top teams like Alabama? You watch them, see how they play? Do you watch USC Stanford? I'm just curious.
I didn't watch USC Stanford. I watched a little bit of Alabama, but then, like I said, took a little nap in the afternoon.
When you do watch, I'm just curious, are you interested more likely in top 10 teams, Big 12 teams, you know, games that are just sort of interesting, like, for instance, Louisiana Monroe Auburn turned out to be a terrific game. So what do you enjoy as a fan?
I like the kind of big matchups, you know, USC Stanford, even though I didn't get to watch it, Notre Dame, Michigan State, you know, those type of matchups, like I enjoy watching those games.
Well, see, fans, they like to gauge, see how they look and compare them to you guys. Do you watch it the same way, or you just watch it just to watch?
I just watch it just to watch.
Landry, was it good to have the off week with more reps to gain some chemistry with some of the receivers?
Yeah, it was nice to have that week. You know, it's nice to just get a week where you can focus on really yourselves, although you're still focusing on the other team, but you're just getting, I think, better. And yeah, it was nice to have it with Justin and Trey and Kenny just getting more on the same page.